Hi folks, this is Jay, and hope everybody's okay. I really don't want to be making these kind of videos because I'm not interested in them. Like I said, generally I want to be off YouTube. I don't think it's healthy for me. I don't like these kind of controversies, but I do like to make Bible teaching videos and scholarly videos, and I do like to upload things, and I enjoy doing that, and from time to time I will do that. But I feel like there's been a big controversy on the internet with a certain group of atheists, and I do feel that because all these accusations have gone on, and there's been a lot of talk about me, I want to say my side of the things and what I think. And I don't care what people think of me. I don't care what you say. I have a right to free speech, and I'll say what I have to say. First of all, everybody knows my background, so I'm not going to go into that because people know. But I'm a strong character, and I truly, sincerely believe the things that I believe. I believe in the Bible. I believe in Jesus. I believe that he died and rose again. I am a trained minister and theologian, and I am the real deal. I made many stupid videos, and I made many mistakes on YouTube, which I regret in one way, because I am a minister, a preacher of the gospel, and it was a period of my time where I didn't have any respect for myself for various reasons, a number of you know. And but basically this political fight that I developed with the atheist culminated in a specific group of atheists homing in on me, and decided that because I was quite brutal in my statements about these atheists, because they were brutal about Christianity, for example Hitchens and Harris and Dawkins, they said some really bad things about Christianity. I was quite strong with the atheists. Well, some atheists were quite concerned about this because I made many videos, and if you typed in Jason Burns I would come up rather than Aaron Rara Thunderfoot, so they were getting a bit agitated. So some of them started archive channels, some of them started to be very aggressive towards me, and it became quite bitter and acrimonious to the point where there was a crescendo where, when I had a debate with D.P.R. Jones, and I won him, rather than actually discuss with me the topics of the debate, quite a few of the atheist community and New Covenant group accused me of plagiarism without giving me an opportunity to answer back. It was not a formal academic debate. It was supposed to be, but we should have handed in our papers. So that would have meant that my sources would have been there up front. DP was stroking a cat and I had a cup in front of me, so it was not Oxford and Cambridge. So it was unfair to accuse me of plagiarism. And I got really angry and upset with that, because I've been bullied a lot before that by the atheists, and I was pushed out. Every time I tried to do a Google Hangout, they jumped me. I was being stalked by some atheists, one atheist particularly from Left Coast Atheism. A guy from there was stalking me, coming on shows when I told him I didn't want him to come on and he was depressing me. Alex Bolton was turning up and I didn't want him to turn up, etc. And I was just feeling oppressed, and I ended up rounding on the atheist, rounding on New Covenant group, getting angry at Alex and his wife, and I said things about his wife, about her illness, which I didn't know she was really ill. I thought she had a cold and she was just milking it, and I said some really unkind things about her, and I didn't mean it. I wasn't targeting her. I was targeting Alex and all the rest of the other guys who were bullying me, and I got really upset about it. And I only recently found out that she was really seriously ill. I didn't know, and I've apologised, and I apologise now, Kat, because I think what I said was wrong and was not good, and I'm sorry about that, but I didn't realise. But the thing is, there was a backlash from that, because I got threats. I got 10 phone calls. It was very, very upsetting and very distraughting. I didn't tell the police, because the police didn't do anything about when we got attacked in town a few weeks before by a Polish guy, a 6-foot drunken Polish guy, so I thought the police aren't going to do anything. So I put a video up and said I've committed suicide, and I shouldn't have done that, in the hope that these atheists would leave me alone. But I took the video down, but within an hour, and they put it up. They put it up on an archive channel that pretends to be my videos. So everybody knew that it was not me, that it was an atheist channel. And they're all saying, "Oh, we've got to do something about it. Oh, well, if you said this, Joe, we've got to make sure that we sort you out and make sure you're okay." But they were saying it tongue-in-cheek. They were being malicious. And then I put a comment under the video and said, "Look, I'm okay." I took my channels down because I was scared of these threats. I was really distraught. Now the atheists knew I was okay, because I told them. They knew that this video was on an archive channel that they run. It was not on mine. After 12 hours of them keeping this video up, and they've still got it up even to this day, they then went and phoned the police. The police came round. They said, "Why do you want to do this? Where's your video?" I said, "I haven't got the video. I pulled it down." I showed them that the atheist had it. They said, "Please, just forget about them. If that's what they're doing, just if they're trying to do that, leave YouTube. Just ignore them." And that alone was really malicious and distraught. Felt distraught after 2 weeks of me leaving the atheist alone. By this time I'd lost 3,000 subscribers because of these threats. I had to take down my channels, and I took down the channel that had 3,000 subscribers, which was used to critique atheism. I'd lost thousands of scholarly videos, which the atheists to this day don't care about. By now I'd forgot about it, left it for 2 weeks. The atheist then, through Jim Gardner, organised my doctor through the police to see me. My doctor sent me a letter. This letter said, "Come in for a checkup." I went in. She said, "You can be sectioned if you make videos on atheism." She said, "I've got a report." She said, "You're reading too many books. I don't think that's a problem." And she read this report from the police, which I know came from these atheists. I said, the police haven't informed me, and you haven't informed me. She said, "I did." She hadn't. She'd lied. For this day, I've not seen my doctor since, and I'm going to change my doctor, because what she said was a barefaced lie. So I just said, okay, so whatever, just to get out of that practice. Then, on top of that, she said the police should have contacted me. She said, "What's this, you want a war with atheism?" I said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "He wanted a war with me. He's a famous atheist. It's just ideological. It's not physical." I said, "The atheists put this video up on their channel, and it's malicious." And yeah, I did put it up, but it was in the background of being threatened. So she said, "Well, I don't think you're ill," and and so I left. After that, I still had atheists who I didn't want near me coming near me. People from Left Coast Atheist, people from the Fundamentally Flawed were coming near me on my channel, which made me feel ill. I felt distraught because of what the people from Fundamentally Flawed, Jim Gardner, had done. I felt absolutely distraught when Alex or someone from Left Coast Atheist, who I told not to come near me, would come near my channel. Felt really, really uncomfortable, and I felt stalked by that. I felt really disturbed by that. In fact, it made me ill. On top of that, my family, my auntie, was seriously ill, had a serious operation, and then recently, only a few days ago, she's had another serious operation. She's okay, but they were life-threatening, death-threatening operations, and I've had to deal with that and keep a happy smile while that was going on. On top of all that, these atheists not only started one archive channel, they started 3 archive channels. So when you type in Jason Burns, they completely took over my public profile on the first page. I started a new channel, put 1,000 videos on it of other people's stuff and my stuff. These are organisations that allow me to use the material. These atheists DMCA'd me to stop, and that stopped me from using my main channel that I was resurrected to critique atheism. So I was stopped in my tracks for fighting back and trying to give myself a good public representation, because I'd lost thousands of scholarly videos. Meanwhile, Alex Borton's milking it about the words that I said about his wife, when I didn't mean it, because I didn't know the full facts. I didn't know she was ill, and when I found out she was seriously ill recently, because I don't watch his videos, I don't go on his channel and watch all his videos. I watch maybe 1 or 2 little clips every now and again, but I don't watch all these shows, so I didn't know the full details. I only knew the full details recently, and I just apologised the last couple of days profusely, because if that's what happened, she was really ill. I am really, really sorry that I said that, but it was in the context of New Covenant Group, DPR Jones, Ozzy, and many other atheists wading into me and bullying me, and Christopher Moore, and Bible Thumping Wingnut jumping in Bible Thumping Wingnut not sticking up for me, but just throwing me under a bridge and letting me get attacked and accused of these things without no one letting me come forward and give my view. So I lost my public profile, I lost my main channel. The main channel that I started I couldn't use because that bit got DMCA'd. The archive channel, I tried to DMCA this archive channel because it was uploading my videos. The atheists have got over 3,000 to 4,000 of my videos on 4 archive channels of Jason Burns. Not even Thunderfoot, not even Iron Man, not even DPR Jones has that kind of fan adulation, as it were. No Christian has thousands of DPR Jones videos or Iron Man. No Christian has thousands of Thunderfoot clips. No one. But they've got it of me. Now I decided I wanted to move on, and I couldn't move on because they got all these archive channels. So one day I put ketchup on me, and it was a symbol of my heart bleeding that I wanted to move on. And I said, Thunderfoot, please have a word with them, pull these archive channels down. And then the atheist twisted it, the guy's mentally ill. Meanwhile, Raoul, an atheist, went on Captain Awesome's show, and as he goes on Captain Awesome's show, he said, why are you talking about Jason? I've talked to him, he's a really nice guy. They cut him off, wouldn't let him on. Over that time, these atheists have spent hours and hours and hours, I mean literally, on the All Fundamentally Flawed podcast, Jim Gardner, Left Coast Atheists. These people spent literally tens and tens of hours talking about my depression, which is irresponsible. And they spend hours and hours, and recently Live Life 8072 came on the Captain Awesome crew and talked and said Jason could end up killing people if you keep attacking him, leave him alone. But that's disgusting that he would say that. I mean, that's just absolutely terrible. I know he was trying to help, but that was really unfair. And they had all these hours and hours and hours of talking about my mental illness. I had specific atheists coming into Manchester saying I'm mentally ill and all the rest of it, which was traumatic. It's traumatic to go on the internet and see tens of hours of video of people just talking about you as if you're mentally ill. Then what they would do, I would get threats and attacks on the internet, DMCAs. I've got on all my channels people, a specific person who commentated and threatened me on all my channels. And so I would get angry and upset and make videos saying, why are you persecuting me? Why are you being aggressive towards me? And I'd get angry. Then the atheists would record that, put it up on their archive channel, say, look at Jay, he's aggressive, he's a nut job. And every time I calm down and chill out, they'd prod me and DMCA me or send a threat. And then I get angry and make another angry video, and then they put that on their archive channel, and they're feeding the whole situation. And in the end I thought, it's depressing me, this, it's not getting me anywhere. They're just misrepresenting me in every way, and they won't let me on the shows to have a discussion when they accuse me of things. In the end, it got to the point where Live Life was on a show of Captain Awesome, and he was talking about me, saying I could kill people because I'm mentally ill and all the rest of it. So I thought, I'm not having that. I went on the Awesome Crew show, which to be honest, I think is the pits, to be honest. And I went on that show, and I thought, I'm going to show them that I am not this kind of person that Live Life or these people think I am. And I was really funny. It was the best laugh they've ever had. It was hilarious. And I showed them that I'm not that kind of person. But then I went on the Awesome Crew show the next day, and they were talking behind my back. They didn't realise that I was listening in. And they were talking about my depression. And thinking that I weren't listening, and it was despicable, and I just came off. Jim Garner, what he did as if he was some kind of helping me, he wasn't helping me, because I have to change my doctor. I'm leaving it. I'm not going to reprimand that doctor. I'm not going to report the doctor, but the doctor could be reported for lying. The police officer who took the report from Jim Gardner could be reported, because whatever information they got from Jim Gardner or any of the atheists, that police officer had a duty to contact me if he was contacting my doctor. That police officer could have been reprimanded, because what I would have done is I would have said, wait a minute, have you seen Jim Gardner's podcast where he gets aggressive? Have you seen the Fundamentally Crew where they get aggressive? Have you seen all the comments on the archive channel about me? And they would have had to investigate these atheists who, incidentally, when they were trying to get me sectioned, pulled down some of the more controversial videos that they collected that make them look bad. So then, so the Fundamentally Crew were able to twist it all, make me look bad because of what I said about Kat, make me look bad, which I didn't understand, didn't know the full situation. I'm coming. Hey? Okay. Sorry about that. And then I got involved with Richard Raspberry because I thought he was a good guy. Well, I do think he's alright. And I got involved with Richard because I thought I need to team up. And he invited me on Brett King's show, and I enjoyed being with Brett because I think, well, to me he seems a nice guy. Richard Raspberry seems a nice guy, and I was really looking forward to getting involved, because then I'm not isolating, getting picked off. And Richard was going through this issue where some atheists from the old Fundamentally Crew were talking about his mum's address, and it seemed to me that they were trying to pry into his life. Richard told me that he was unhappy about it, but we were going to get on and do some like scholarly discussion and debates. Richard Raspberry and Brett King completely demolished some of the old Fundamentally Crew on evolution, absolutely demolished them. And these atheists started getting really uptight, that were trying to get me, were getting really schizophrenic about me teaming up with Richard and Brett Keane. And then I made a video defending Richard, because I felt he was being bullied, because we're not talking about 4 atheists, we're talking about 10 atheists at a time on Google Hangout channels talking about Richard, and it just seemed bullying to me. So I thought, I'm going to stick up for the guy. So I made a video set calling stalking atheist, and then apparently, and I don't know the facts, I don't know what the facts are, nobody's given me any evidence, but apparently the next day after I made that video, and after it all kicked off, and this person said that someone had threatened their family because of this video that I made about these stalking atheists. An atheist came into town, said to me, Jay, you don't want to get involved with Brett, he used to be an atheist. I said I didn't know all this stuff about Brett Keane. He said, and also Richard Raspberry, you can get his details and his family's details of address without stalking him. Look, and he typed in his mum's name, and the address came up. So then I was warned by this atheist. So then came home, and in the evening Brett Keane, Richard Raspberry invited me on to Brett Keane, and I didn't know that they wanted to expose Alex. So then they sent me a private, and they sent other Christians a private talk that they had with Alex that supposedly exposed him. And I knew instinctively I shouldn't get involved because I was warned by this specific atheist. So I just kept out of it. I went on, came off, went on and came off. But I didn't say anything. I didn't try to corner Alex. I came off him. Meanwhile, I then went on my atheist channel and made the Love Peace video, thinking I'm just getting out of this is just getting ridiculous. Unbeknown to me, as I made the Love Peace video where I'm laughing and be happy, all hell had broke loose on the Captain Awesome show, saying, and this lady saying, oh, her family's been threatened because of a video that I've made. But that day I'd made a video for the atheist to give to this lady, saying, whoever's done this I completely disown. I also got an email from Jim Gardner that night, or the night before, after that, saying come on a show and talk, and he thought that my peace and love video was funny. And I sent to him, look, I'm sorry, whatever's happened to Fiona, I didn't mean it. I was set up, I was trying to get involved, and I basically threw Richard Raspberry and Brett Keane under a bus and just distanced myself from it. But I sent an apology to this lady, and I said to Jim Garner, forget about what happened to me in the past. But the point is, I'm doing this video because, number one, I don't know Richard Raspberry, I don't know Brett Keane, and I don't want to throw them under a bus and say that they're bad people, because I don't know them. What I've seen of them, they seem good people to me. And I don't think you should witch hunt them, whatever they've done. I don't think you should witch hunt them, and I don't think Richard should leave YouTube. Secondly, I think it's wrong for any atheist to try and find out about someone's address, even if it's freely available on Google. And it's wrong to talk about it on the internet, on YouTube. And you were doing that, you were talking about this guy's address, mum's address, on YouTube, and that is wrong. That's irresponsible. That is prying into people's life, even if it's freely available. When you're putting it on YouTube, you're putting people's attention towards it, and that is wrong. I've never ever Googled or tried to find out about Aaron Ra's mum, Aaron Ra's kids. Never tried to find out about Thunderfoot's work, where he lives. I've never tried to find out about DPR Jones, where he lives, or his family. I've never Googled Jim Gardner. I've never Googled any atheist that I have met on YouTube, on the internet. YouTube. I've never tried to find out or talk about where they live or where their family live on the internet. Never. So the atheists, you were doing that. Yet the information was freely available, and if Josh was twisting it, I don't know if he was, then okay, but that doesn't give you the right. I'm not saying he did or didn't, but that does not give you the right to talk about his mum on YouTube. Does not give you the right to do that. And that is not right, and that is crossing the bounds of privacy, and it is stalking the guy. If the guy doesn't want to talk about it and you're trying to talk to him about it, that's stalking you. You've no right to talk about his mum on the internet. You've no right to suggest or say that you've found his address on the YouTube. You've no right to do that. Why would you want to do that? You shouldn't be doing that. So if I've made a video about that, I have a right to do that. I have a right to call you out on that. Now, like I said, that information might be freely available, but that does not give you the right to spend hours and hours talking to Brett Keane or to anybody else about that issue, about his mum and where she lives, and saying you can get it freely on the internet. That does not give you right to talk about that on YouTube. It doesn't give you the right to do that. You crossed the line, and you shouldn't do it. Just like you crossed the line in trying to get me sectioned, you crossed the line in stalking me, coming on shows when I told you not to come on, and then I said afterwards, I said, right, we'll have a moratorium, I forgive you. But there was a time where I said you not to come on, and you came on my shows, and that is stalking. You crossed the line, and you shouldn't witch hunt this guy. You should leave him alone. You should let him get on with his scholarly videos. All that guy wants to do is debate. To demonize him like you've done is terrible. And so it's your own fault. You shouldn't be talking about people like that. You shouldn't be spending hours and hours talking about my mental illness, my depression. You should just get on and have your debates and your discussions, and then you wouldn't have any of these kind of controversies. I'm not minimizing. I don't know what's happened to this lady's family. I don't know the facts. I'm only being told by what you said. It could be a lie for all I know. It could be the truth. I don't know. And I don't want to know. If something happened, you should go to the police and talk to the police about it. You should have a word with them and get them to sort it out. You're irresponsible. If someone's come round to your house and threatened family or whatever, you're irresponsible to then bring it on the internet and said, we don't want anything to happen to Jason or Richard Raspberry. We don't want anything to happen to them. Don't retaliate. That is irresponsible of you. Because that means that people associate what has happened to your family with me and Richard Raspberry. And that is a disgusting thing. Because something may happen to us. Something may happen as a result of your accusation. So the thing that you're accusing me of doing, you are doing even worse. So I don't know what has happened in this person's family. But if there has anything happened, you should go to the police, and you shouldn't be talking about it on YouTube. That is irresponsible. So I'm just telling you how I feel. I feel there's a witch hunt going on. I feel all this stuff that's happened with Fundamentally Flawed and Captain Awesome and Left Coast Atheist, who has been talking about me. I have an email I have a message from Ozzy's wife. She very, very clearly states that there were a number of people, key people, atheists, who disagreed with what Jim Gardner did, and it seems that they told him so, and they told him that it shouldn't happen again. And I think some of these atheist leaders told the Fundamentally crew off, and the Fundamentally crew want to justify themselves for doing that, and all this controversy is part of that. Because if anybody threatened my family, literally threatened my brothers, sisters, or any of my family, I would not come on the internet and I would not blame any atheist or anybody. What I would do is I would just go straight to the police and I would stay off YouTube. I would not try to make myself look some kind of martyr and saint. I would just come off YouTube. I'd be thinking of protecting my family. I'd inform the police and I'd leave it at that. That's what I would do. Because I know if I came on and I said, oh, the threat of my family is because of DPR Jones or Iron Man, then that would endanger them. Even if I said, don't do anything to DPR Jones, don't do anything to Iron Man. But by the way, my little daughter was threatened. Well, that's irresponsible because they would be in danger. I would put them in danger. What I would do is I wouldn't go on the internet. I'd phone the police and my little daughter's been threatened. What are you going to do about it? That's what I would do. So what I'm saying is this group of atheists is very, very irresponsible. And you need to really grow up and you need to sort yourself out. You need to just pack it in and concentrate on debates and discussion. That's what you need to do. You need to leave me alone because you've made my life a hell. Fundamentally Flawed, Awesome Crew, and Left Coast Idiot. You've made my life absolute hell the last 4 months. You just want to leave me alone. And I'll make videos every now and again, apologetic videos and stuff like that. And that's what I'll do every now and again in Bible studies. But this specific group of atheists, you're immature. You're basically immature, and you've not been around long enough on YouTube to realise that you're going way over the bounds. You've gone way over. And you need to just calm it down, and you need just to get on with things. And you just need to realise you're never going to pulverise Jason Burns into the ground. It just isn't going to work. Alright? You need to get that into your head. It's never going to work. And you need to chill out and just get on with your shows and do that. Alright? That's what you got to face. I'm not going to have anything to do with these people, contact or anything. I want you to leave me alone. I want you to stop talking about my depression. I want you to just leave me alone. I don't wish any ill on any family or anybody. If anybody has done anything or said anything to Fiona or her family, I think they're sick. If they have done, they are absolutely sick. And if you think that I would encourage something like that, or that I'm responsible for that, then you're sick for thinking it, because I'm not that kind of person. And like I said, I have made mistakes, I have said things underhanded, and I have apologised for those. But I do not believe that you have the right to witch hunt Richard Raspberry off YouTube, where he is frightened for his own life. I do not believe that you have the right to demonise Brett Keane to the point where the guy is seen as a pariah. If he changes from being an atheist to a Christian, Christian to an atheist, and he keeps changing all the time, so what? It's not World War III. It's Brett Keane. He's just a guy and he's just doing whatever he's doing. If he e-begs, so what? That's up to him, and if people want to give to him, then that's their whatever. He's not a monster. Alright? He's just a guy who has a YouTube channel and he's just doing his thing. and I think you just got to calm down. I don't think you amongst us. I think you've got a lot about you, these groups, and I think you just need to concentrate on your strengths. And that's how I feel. That's what I think. And I've said everything I need to say. My name's Jason. I'm a preacher of the gospel, and you'll never ever ever intimidate me, ever. You picked the wrong guy to pick on. Now one day people will see the real Jason, and they'll know that the way you're demonizing me is just not fair and it's not right. I think a lot of atheists know what you're saying isn't true. I think a lot of atheists know me quite well, and they know that I'm not malicious and I'm not like that, and I've said underhanded things, but I have apologized for it. And they know that what is being said about me at the moment is not on, and they're keeping quiet. But this is my official statement on this issue. Thank you for listening, and take care. I'd wish Fiona, Jim Gardner, Alex, and all the atheists, Left Coast atheists, and all of these people, I wish you all the best and love to you all, and I really, really do. I don't wish any harm to you. I hope you have a lovely day, and I wish you all the best. But if you're throwing these kind of accusations, I have a right to defend myself, and I'm defending my position and who I am. Okay? And I just hope that you calm down, and I hope that you just get on doing whatever you do. Alright? Debates, discussions. But I'm just telling you who I am and where it's at. And I don't like to throw people under a bus. I threw Richard Raspberry under a bus. I threw Brett Keane under a bus to save my own skin. But I'm not a man like that. If I say you're a friend, I stick by my friends, and they're my friends. Until they turn on me, they are my friends. Don't mean I endorse everything they've said. I don't mean I agree with what's been said by them sometimes. But I gave my word to Richard that I was his friend, and I'll stick by him. And I'll stick by Brett Keane until they turn on me. I'm not defending them. This video is not to defend them, but I do feel I threw them under a bus, and I don't like that about myself, and I feel guilty about that. I don't like these accusations that have been put against me. I think they're unjust and unfair, and just demonizing me because of past things that you've said about me that you knew were going to be exposed, and all this is part of that, and we have to be honest about it. And I don't like you ganging up on me and demonizing me like that, and I'm going to call you out on it and say, give the evidence. If this is what you're saying has happened, give the causal evidence, give the witness statement from this person that it was specifically this video, and show us the police witness statement. Then we've got solid evidence. Until then, it's just what people are saying. And if they really were bothered about the family, they'd come off YouTube and let the police deal with it. So this is where I'm at, and I don't wish anybody any harm or anything. I just want peace and love for everybody, and all I've ever wanted to do is academic discussion and debate, and that's all I've ever wanted to do. I didn't want to attack atheists and atheism, but if you won't engage, if you won't debate, if you won't discuss, then that's your problem, and that's it. You won't have academic debates with me, you won't debate me, you won't engage with me. If I go on a show, 90% of the time I'm always ganged up on. I always have like 6 or 8 atheists ganging up on me. You take the piss and you laugh at me. You call me all the names under the sun. This is most of the time, not all the time. 1 or 2 differences. On Redline show it didn't happen, thank goodness, but most of the shows you do. And it's very hard to get an academic discussion and debate with you. And that means what the people see is these hours and hours of discussions that you have about my depression, and you give everybody a false impression of me, and it's not fair. So I would ask you to please just leave me alone, this specific group of atheists, and let me get on doing my thing. And if this video makes you angry and upset, then that's your problem. You've got to deal with it. I'm just telling you how I feel and what I think. And I've had enough threats sent to me. I've had enough cyberbullying. I've had enough everybody ganging up on me. I've had enough of people talking about me for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours about my depression, about this, about that, and all these accusations and all this for hours and hours and hours and hours of talking about me. I've had enough of all that. And you know, there's war going on in Syria, might go on in Ukraine, there's people dying in Africa, there's people suffering in hospitals. You know, let's get real. That's reality. That is serious stuff. This is just YouTube, and I'm not important. You don't even talk about Thunderfoot. You don't talk about his videos for hours and hours. You don't talk about Magic Sandwich Show's podcasts for hours and hours. You don't even talk about Immanuel Kant for hours and hours, but you'll talk about me for hours and hours. And I'm not even Bertrand Russell. So why is it that you talk about me for hours and hours? It's because you can't get your head around me, and it's because you can't fundamentally, utterly take the guy out, because the guy never gives up, and it frustrates you. But that's the gospel minister. You can never break a gospel minister. Gospel ministers are defenders of the gospel, and you can never break them. And so you've just got to face the fact, and you've got to be intellectually honest and fair, and allow me free speech to do my thing, and let me flourish and prosper in whatever I'm good at. Like I said, I'm sorry for attacking the atheist like I did over the years. I'm sorry for the failures that I made, and I apologize that. But that doesn't give you the right to throw out all these accusations and try to demonize me to the point where what it's doing is you're trying to embarrass me not to come on YouTube again, because oh look, it's that evil Jay. Well, you're not going to do that. It's not going to happen. So I ask Thunderfoot, Ironride, DPR Jones, I'm bringing you all in as a witness. I ask Bible Thumping Wingnut, Matthew 14, Christopher Mort, Lasoyo, these shows that I've mentioned, some of my heroes, R.C. Sproul, John Piper, Dr. Al Muller, and political leaders again, the MPs in the UK, and the people at Washington, the senators. And I ask you to take witness of this video, that this is my absolute honest statement about this situation. And I ask you all to take note of what I have said, and under God I am being honest about what I have said. So may you all be a witness to this video. I have to do this to bring everybody in, so that everybody can see that everything's being done openly and honestly. Now the ball's in your court. This little group, fundamentally flawed, ex-helpers, Captain Awesome Crew, and Left Coast Atheist, you need to back down. You need to continue doing your discussions and your debates, and you need to leave me alone. If you ratchet it up again, then I won't be involved. I've said my piece, and we'll leave you to you talking in the air, and you will end up exposing yourselves. Those are my thoughts. Alright, take care and God bless.